Welcome to Global Bible Reading. If we read in the Bible, stoning as a form of capital punishment is prescribed for specific offenses, primarily related to idolatry, blasphemy, and certain sexual transgressions, as seen in passages like Deuteronomy chapter 13 and chapter 17. Let us look at some specific examples of stoning in the Bible. For example, idolatry. Deuteronomy chapter 13, beginning from verses 7 to 11, outlines the punishment for someone who attempts to lead others into idolatry, stating that they should be stoned to death. Example number 2. Blasphemy, that we can read in Numbers chapter 15, beginning from verses 32 to 36. A man who gathered wood on the Sabbath was stoned to death for blasphemy. Example number 3, adultery. While not explicitly mentioned as a punishment by stoning, the Mosaic law, which the Bible references, does prescribe stoning for adultery, and Jesus' response to the women caught in adultery in John chapter 8, beginning from verses 1 to 11, is a notable example of this. Example number 4, gathering wood on the Sabbath. In Numbers chapter 15, beginning from verses 32 to 36, a man who gathered wood on the Sabbath was stoned to death. Example number 5, rebellion. In Numbers chapter 16, beginning from verses 1 to 35, Korah and his followers were punished by the earth, swallowing them up, and others were killed by fire from God, which could be seen as a form of divine punishment. Now let's look at some important context and interpretation. Mosaic law. These stoning practices are rooted in the Mosaic law and set of laws given to Moses on Mount Sinai. Purpose of punishment. The purpose of these punishments was to maintain social order and uphold the covenant between God and the Israelites. Modern interpretations of these passages vary, with some scholars arguing that they are not applicable in the same way today, while others believe that the principles of justice and accountability are still relevant. What about Jesus' response? Jesus' response to the women caught in adultery in John chapter 8, beginning from verses 1 to 11, is a notable example of his approach to justice and mercy, where he states that let the one without sin cast the first stone. This is the word of God, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everyone for coming. May God bless you all. See you all soon.